You're watching CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown.
Hello, I'm Juan Fernandez. Here's a look at your top stories. We begin with breaking news. Investigators have now identified 2 men arrested in a string of deadly shootings in LA County this week. The attacks left 4 people dead in Bell, Florence, Cudahy, and Huntington Park late Sunday and early Monday. A red Honda Pilot caught on security video at the 4 scenes led to these arrests. Officials say the first suspect, Gary Jonathan Garcia, is 42 years old and has an extensive criminal record. The second suspect is Wayne McNeely Timberland. He's 20 years old and has no criminal history. Investigators believe the attacks were random. There is a third suspect, but no description just yet. A major problem on the table at LA City Hall right now, an abandoned construction site by Crypto.com Arena that has been the target of graffiti artists and dangerous stunts. KCAL News reporter Amanda Starantino shows us more.
I'm Amanda Starantino in downtown Los Angeles, right across from the building that's gone viral in recent weeks because of the graffiti that goes all the way up about 30 stories here. You've probably seen the images. Well, now it's going viral for another reason, dangerous stunts being done off the top. Take a look at these videos here. These Instagram videos are now going viral by Instagram users Moody Gabe and Nick Sosanov. These are what they are calling movies that they made about a month ago off of the top of the Oceanwide Plaza buildings. Now, these buildings started construction back in 2015, but in 2019, the Beijing-based developer ran out of money to keep it going. So now they've sat like this, just halfway done and just gathering dust in a very dangerous situation for anyone that decides to go inside there and climb through what is actually so far built. But it's definitely not safe in there, and that's why the city doesn't want people around or going up that area. So in response to the videos and the pictures going viral of the graffiti and now these base jumpers as well, the city is having a police presence around here. When I talked to LAPD on Monday, they said they have 9 units constantly patrolling this area around the clock, and that's about 18 officers. So according to the police chief, they have made 18 arrests so far of people trying to go in and out of this building, which is exactly why they are standing out here, because anyone that goes in and out is going to walk directly into law enforcement's hands. Also, the city has spent more than 3,000 hours trying to figure out what to do about this building. Now, the developer has until Saturday to step in. If they don't, the city is going to step in. There is a city council meeting happening today, Tuesday, to discuss putting more barricading around this site. Coming up on KCAL News, we're going to have more on this.
All right, let's turn our attention now to the weather. A live look at Long Beach right now. Lots of sunshine out there. In fact, we've had a quiet few days ahead of us, but another round of storms is on the way. KCAL News meteorologist Olga Ospina is here now and has your next forecast. Olga.
Hi, Juan. Yes, we are seeing some sunshine outside this afternoon, and things are going to be relatively quiet, at least through Friday. Then those changes start to happen by the weekend. I'm tracking a series of storms, and that's going to bring us some rain and some snow over the weekend into next week. So let's show you radar. We're seeing mostly clear skies. We have some high clouds streaming overhead for some of us, which is going to make for a nice sunset tonight. Temperature-wise, numbers are mild, mostly in the 60s. We have upper 60s in Pasadena, 48 degrees right now in Wrightwood, a few 50s, 59 degrees at LAX, and high temperatures for tomorrow. We're going to keep things pretty mild once again, with highs mostly in the 60s for all of us. We'll see a few low 70s for places like Palm Springs. But let's take a look at the weekend. Things will be changing, increasing chances for some rain, a little lighter on Saturday, and then by Sunday night into Monday, even potentially Tuesday, we could be looking at some heavier rain as a wet weather pattern starts to set up across most of the West Coast. Rain chances, will continue to see that increase over the weekend, and even more so as we head into early next week. Keep in mind, Monday, that is your President's Day holiday, so if you have an extended weekend, keep that in mind for any kind of outdoor plans, because rain is on the way already on Wednesday for Northern California into the Central Coast. For us, just a deepening marine layer will get a little bit more cloud cover, potentially a few sprinkles out there Nothing of too much concern, but look at this big storm still sitting offshore on Friday. That's going to start moving in. By Saturday, we could get some light rain across our region into early Sunday. And then by late Sunday, this is going to be the bigger storm. That's going to bring us some more moderate to heavy rain. And that's going to continue for President's Day into Tuesday as well, sweeping across our region. Preliminary numbers as far as rain totals, about 2 to 5 inches for coasts and valleys and 5 to 8 inches for some of our mountains and foothills. So again, some good totals. For most of us, it's going to be a little bit less than this past major storm. However, still some significant totals. And then as we head into Tuesday, once again, still seeing that wet weather sticking around. Temperature-wise, numbers are going to be dropping. But as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, not too bad for February. Mid to upper 60s, even some low 70s for the LAOC metro area. And then by the weekend and into next week, we're looking at some wet weather. Also, snow is going to be a part of the picture. Higher elevations mostly expected to be impacted. Not ruling out a chance of thunderstorm activity. So a lot of activity headed our way by the weekend and into early next week. Juan.
Olga, thank you. Now to this, the nominations for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2024 are out. 15 artists are in the running to be inducted this year. The nominees include Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, Cher, Lenny Kravitz, Ozzy Osbourne, the Dave Matthews Band, and the late Sinead O'Connor. Here with more on the big announcement is Dr. Evelyn McDonald with Loyola Marymount University. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
First up here, why is this such an honor, and what does it take to be nominated here?
Well, it means a lot to people to get these kinds of acclaim. I mean, they're historic awards for career of service, for originality. They're not just that you have a hit record or you've had a hit record, right? It's supposed to be for really notable careers.
Very notable careers, including the late Sinead O'Connor. All 5 of the nominees on the ballot are here for the first time. Is there any significance to that it's the first time we're seeing them being nominated?
The women, particularly, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I thought that Mary J. Blige had actually been nominated before, but maybe I'm wrong. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has unfortunately had a very horrible record of not inducting women. The percentages are really, really bad. When you count them by the individuals inducted, which means all the members of the acts and then also producers that are nominated, women account for less than 10% of people inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in all of its years. If you count the women this year, it's the same. It's actually a little bit less than 10% if you count the nominees for this year.
And you've written extensively about it. Do you think these nominees will help bridge the gap, make perhaps more women in the future, viable or at least included in these nominations?
I'm so happy to see these women nominated.
Yeah.
I don't want to undermine the importance of, Cher and Sinead O'Connor and Sade and Mary J. Blige and Mariah Carey. These are all phenomenal women that should have been nominated and inducted years ago. Most of them have been eligible for induction for a while. Unfortunately, they're not really showing any record of improvement. Like I say, it's less than 10%. The total numbers of women in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are less than 9%. It's actually down from the last couple of years. It's up from 2019 when only 2 women were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But there's been a lot of pressure on the hall to improve these numbers. I will say that the diversity in terms of people of color is excellent among this class of nominees. I just hope that some of these acts like Eric B. and Rakim actually get inducted.
That's right. We're talking about all this induction. Who actually decides the inductees? You were saying that a lot of work still needs to be done. They need to do better. Who's this team who decides this?
That's a good question. It's a bit of a mystery, right? It's not public, the list of voters who vote for the inductees. nor is the nominating committee that have given us these nominations publicly announced, although they're known. People, stealthy journalists have reported it. But there are, so all of the reason it's important to count the individuals being inducted, not just the bands, but the musicians, is because those individuals, if they're still living, get a vote, right? So when you have so many more men inducted into the Hall of Fame, you have so many more men voting, right?
Right.
But then there's just industry experts. I'm actually a voter. I vote for the nominees. It's people that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has chosen, and how they choose them and who they are is not really something that's publicly made known.
Well, before I let you go, I had a friend who attended the ceremony last year when the Go-Go's were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Do you attend as well when this happens? It must be very exciting if you do.
No, I have not. I've never attended. The Go-Go's
gotta
were
get you
inducted
there.
years ago. I would love to get there. It's a pretty pricey ticket, and
Yeah.
nobody's ever offered to pay for it. So I've watched it on TV.
Yeah. Well, you've done so much research. You've done so much good for it. I say, let's send Dr. McDonald to the ceremony. I think you'd have a really good time.
I think I would too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thanks for your time, and hope to see you again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Well, this has been CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown. Thanks for joining us. I'm Juan Fernandez. We'll be back live at 4 right here on CBS News Los Angeles.